Welcome everyone to a very special Genshin video, one that I really did not think I was gonna make. The 5.0 livestream has come out, and it was a bombshell of massive new changes coming to Genshin. Changes to wishing, changes that make the game more fair and more rewarding, big quality of life upgrades, and a host of all these other changes we've been begging the developers to implement for the last 4 years. It's all finally here. And even there's been changes to the anniversary rewards to the point where the hashtag of Genshin could never really can no longer be used anymore. I haven't been hyped like this for Genshin in a very long time, but let's just get into these changes. So the first one I want to talk about is the overall increase to Primogems we're going to be getting. Now, it's not going to be the normal increase we get to where it's like, let's say like 20 Primogems, 40 Primogems. I'm talking about 500. So there's this new system in Genshin coming to where when you complete an Archon quest within the patch that's been released, you'll actually get a Primogem bonus of 500. And this is really nice since, of course, 500 is huge. This is basically like an event and you just have to complete one quest. And the nice thing is that this isn't just going to be a one-time thing. The developers mentioned that this will also happen in the other big patches of Natlan where Archon quests are happening, like 5.0, 5.1, and 5.3. On top of all this, there's also going to be a boost to the rewards that you get from all the sort of different things that are in different nations. So for example, when it comes to the Shrine Depths of Key, we're not going to be getting more primos for that. And even for the Fountain of Lucy and Fontaine, you know, the thing where essentially you have to trade your sigils for different rewards, there's also going to be an increase to these rewards to where now we're actually going to be getting an extra 10 pull from them. Next up, let's talk about the new quality of life changes that are coming to Genshin. A really big one is the change to the time trials. So remember, when a new character comes out, you just do their time trial in the various tabs of Genshin. But now for Natlan, it's going to be different to where the time trials aren't in the tabs, but actually they're in the open world. This is so you get a better feel of the different sort of navigation system characters have, which I think is actually quite genius. But the really big thing from this is that as a reward, you actually get the characters' level up materials, and you get enough to level these characters up to level 60 basically automatically. So this fixes a big headache I know people have had and people have been complaining about, where there's all these sorts of different things you need to farm for when it comes to characters. Here, as long as you do a time trial, you get these things immediately and they can be leveled to 60 right away. So it is a really nice change. Artifacts are also getting an upgrade. Now though, unfortunately, it isn't the artifact loadouts we've all been asking for, but to be honest, it's basically the next best thing. Here comes something called the Sanctifying Elixir. So what this does is that essentially with this item, you're actually able to choose from any of the sets of the game a specific artifact and your specific main stat. Now on top of a specific main stat, you can actually choose 2 specific substats. And this of course is pretty huge. It's actually going to relieve the annoyance of farming for specific artifacts a really good amount. Granted, you can't really control how the artifact rolls, but still it's a really nice quality of life change from artifacts. And the nice thing is that it's actually not like an insanely rare thing. So you can get this through exploring Natlan or other nations, I would presume. You get this from also leveling up artifacts. You get it from the battle pass, and as a sort of starter, you're also going to be getting it in the in-game mail for the first time. Now for my fellow endgame and veteran players, we've got some love. We haven't been forgotten about. There's some really good news I'm here to share. Okay, so first off, World Level 9 is coming. Here, enemies will be tougher, which I know isn't for everyone, but for me, and I'm sure some of you, fights feel way too easy. It just kills the vibe. It's not difficult at all. Here, that's going to be changed. Enemies are going to be now more difficult. And then on top of with this new world level, we'll also be getting more monster drops. And one of the developers mentioned that when it comes to character bosses, when you actually defeat them, you know how normally you either get 2 or 3 and it's gamble. It's really annoying. For World Level 9, when you defeat a boss, it's going to be guaranteed that the boss will drop 3 items of a character level up material. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there's also a chance that they may drop 4. Alongside this, there's going to be changes to the Imaginarium Theater. So there's going to be improvements to the UI so you can better understand and grasp what the effects of various boons are and what sort of best attack plans are going to be used in certain areas. And then on top of all this, there's also going to be changes in terms of difficulty. There's now going to be a new difficulty mode that is the hardest out of all of them. It requires a butt ton of characters mixed in with more challenging enemies. And this is again a really nice thing since now for us veteran players, we have a reason to continue leveling up artifacts and characters and making our characters and account much better. And thankfully for this hard game mode, we're also going to be getting extra rewards to claim. Alright, now let's get into the massive changes done to wishing. So the first one I want to talk about is capturing radiance. Now this is essentially a new wish mechanic that's going to be implemented in 5.0. How capturing radiance works is that when you're wishing on a limited banner, and let's say you get a 50-50, there's a 55% chance in that 50-50 for capturing radiance to occur, and if it does occur, it'll guarantee you to win the 50-50. So with this, wishing is going to be far less stressful. There's a chance that the gacha will actually save you instead of screw you over, so this is really nice. The epitomized path is also getting a revamp, so recall that when you're wishing on the weapon banner, to actually guarantee that you get the weapon that you want, you'd have to use the epitomized path, and the way that it would help you is that first you would need to get 2 fate points, and the way that you would get these points is that you would need to wish on the weapon banner, lose the 50-50 each time or not get the weapon that you want, then you'd finally get the 2 fate points, and then again you have to wish for a 5-star to actually get the guaranteed weapon you want and have the path actually help you out. Even just talking about it now, honestly, it's a horrible deal if you ask me. It costs so many primos, but anyways, it's being changed to now where instead of needing 2 fate points, you just need 1, and this is way more fair. So now all you need to do is wish on the weapon banner. Of course, make sure you've actually selected your weapon, but yeah, you just wish for the weapon banner. If you lose the 50-50, you get 1 fate point, and that's all the points you need. So simply just wish again, and then you'll be guaranteed the weapon you're actually going for. Now let's get into the anniversary rewards. This is where things get really juicy. Okay, so first off, we're getting 10 intertwined fates. Alright, that's nice. And then we're also getting an extra 1600 Primogem, so another 10 pull. And we'll also be getting all these, various gadgets and pets and all that. And this is pretty much normal, right? But now we're going to be getting a free 5-star selector, meaning that from the standard banner, all the 5 stars over there, the 5-star characters, you can choose whichever one you want. This is something we've been asking for so long, and finally it's here for free. Just show up to the anniversary, you're getting a free 5-star. That's it. And this of course is a huge win, but there's a really big cherry on the top of all this. So when it comes to all these other anniversaries that are coming into Genshin, right, let's say 6.0, the developers did mention that for all the other anniversary rewards, a free 5-star selector will be there. So we really have one. This isn't just a one-time thing. We're definitely winning, but then the developers also mentioned that in the future, they are going to be adding different characters to the standard 5-star pool. Meaning that not only can we choose from like all the very standard 5-star units, we can actually choose the new 5-star units that are coming to the pool. I think it's safe to say that 5.0 is going to be the best patch of Genshin. There's so many new changes. The developers have finally listened. Honestly, I'm really happy. I'm really hyped. If you guys are hyped, let me know in the comments and let me know what are you guys most looking forward to in 5.0. Also, let me know who are you guys going to be wishing for in the 5-star selector. I'm just really happy. I'm really glad they're listening, and here's hoping to that the developers listen to us more in the future.